We've got new releases for music and video that come out in the month of May, as they do every month. Our guides for some of the more interesting selections are Mick, Pratt, and Chris Brown from Bull Moose. Thank you both for coming in. Let's get right to it.
Great.
We'll begin with a new release from, not a new release from, but a new release of.
A new release of,
Because
yeah.
if I were to say from, I'd have to name the studio, and I have no idea what the studio was. A new release of the horror movie The Craft, and this is kind of special because this is in a format that is really going to get people excited, right, Mick?
Yeah, so it's the 4K reissue, and so 4K is obviously the highest definition video you can get right now.
To the other kids at St. Bernard Academy, they were the girls who didn't belong.
Whatever you do, stay away from them.
Why?
They're witches.
And The Craft is a movie from the 90s, and you would think like, oh, come on, how much better could it really look? But the thing about movies in the 90s is that all the effects are practical, so they actually look a lot better. So this is kind of your classic mess around and find out story of witchcraft. It was popular when it came out, but it seems to only get more popular every single year. Whenever we do horror movie brackets, it's always like up towards the top, always punching above its weight.
There are movies that do that. As time goes on, they get more popular than they were originally and falls into that category.
People love witches.
Let's move to music. A new release, not a new release, but a reissue from Slipknot. What's the story here, Chris?
Well, this is Iowa, which was their second album, and throughout the entire vinyl revival, this has been the record that people keep asking me, when's it coming out? When's it going to be on vinyl? When's it going to be on vinyl? And now, this week, it's out on vinyl, or it will be.
And Slipknot has sold a lot of copies. This is a popular band.
This is, yes, indeed, yeah, and definitely cult, like their fans stick with them. And, you know, Maine always, speaking of punching over its weight, you know, with
we way over indexed on new metal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were the new metal capital.
We
of the
were,
world.
yeah. In fact, a lot of Slipknot and the bands that kind of led up to Slipknot stylistically were test marketed in Maine, because like, if you can't sell this in Lewiston or Bangor, it's not going to happen.
Another new music release from a band with a Maine connection, the Chainsmokers. Drew Taggart is from Freeport.
Yeah, he's from Freeport, exactly.
Grew up there. This issue, or this new album, is called So Far So Good.
You ever had him on this show?
Tried. Haven't gotten him.
Come on, Drew.
Yeah.
Where are you? Anyway, so this is a really interesting band because they've had quite a career. Like, they started out in 2014 being like a really hard like electro house dubstep duo. So think like Skrillex, and then they sort of matured since then and have added a lot more sort of like sensitivity to their songs. And they talk about like love and longing and the ephemeralness of youth. And they really use auto-tune, I think, really, really well. Like, a lot of people say that auto-tuning is a pejorative, but I think it actually really works for these songs and adds a lot to it.
Another popular band, the Black Keys, with an album called Dropout Boogie.
Right, and the title of the album refers to the fact that they're college dropouts. So I guess they're celebrating that. You know,
Are they going in
like,
a new direction? What's the music like? Anything here that's of particular interest?
Sounds very much like kind of what you'd expect. You know, they're a duo, so the guitar player writes songs with great guitar riffs and the drummer writes great grooves, and then they fill in with other people, including Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top guests on one song.
Nice. Let's wrap up with an album from Florence and the Machine with the title Dance Fever, which intrigued me. What's going on here, Mick?
So you'll also be intrigued to know that, so this album came with a trailer, like it's a movie. Because it looks like there's going to be a whole bunch of high concept music videos that go along with it. So you think about The Wall, right? So The Wall is a really great movie and a really great album, but it's better than the sum of its parts. So I think that this album is going to have something really similar, where the visual element will add to the sonic element to produce a really interesting multimedia album. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, Florence has a great voice, unique even among others in the sort of like female singer-songwriter genre. So.
All right, 5 new releases that kind of cover a whole bunch of tastes, which is what we'd like. Thank you both for being here. And that full list that we've been talking about is, of course, on our website. Stick around, back with more in a moment.